I'm Ted Rogers. This is History by the Plate. One of the things I've noticed after teaching at a university for about 10 years is that while we may have been doing a really good job at giving children a technical education, we're not doing a good job as a culture in teaching children how to adult, how to be adults. We don't give them those critical thinking skills. We don't also give them the much needed confidence to get out there and understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. Now, one of the ways we can help our kids is to help them build a success ladder, a series of successes where they've seen that they are making a difference. And we can do that in the kitchen. One of the things that I'm a big fan of is assigning each child, a specific ingredient to make for the meals for that week or that month. And one of the easy and fun ingredients to make is tortillas. Tortillas are easy to make. Homemade tortillas taste so much better than the ones you get at the grocery store. And frankly, if you're going to be making something like enchiladas, which I'm going to be making tonight, you're going to want a bigger corn tortilla than those little tiny ones you get in the grocery store. So today we're going to look at how to make corn tortillas from scratch at home. This is a perfect opportunity to get your kids involved in the kitchen and help them begin to build that success ladder so they can face life, face the challenges, knowing that they can overcome difficulties. So come on, let's go make some tortillas. Okay, before we get started, here are the basic tools you're going to need to make tortillas. Corn tortillas is what we're making. Here, what I've done is I've taken a 1 gallon freezer bag, zipper freezer bag, and just cut it so you have 2 even pieces of plastic, which we'll just put over here. And that is going to go into our handy dandy tortilla press, which we're going to open like this, place them here. I think you've got the picture. Now, you're going to place the piece of dough, the masa, right in the center here, and then cover it with the next piece of plastic. Close it up, work the press, life is good. Now here also you have something very important. This is called a comal. It's a cast iron griddle specifically made for making tortillas. Now, if you don't have a comal, that's fine. Really, anything will work. I like to work with cast iron, though, making tortillas. So if you have a cast iron griddle, that's wonderful. And then, of course, you're going to need a flipper. And you're going to need this, too, a basic pastry knife, because you need to be able to divide the masa evenly into 16 pieces, and the pastry knife just makes that a whole lot easier. So let's take a look then at the process of making tortillas. Okay, so now we're ready to start actually making the masa for the tortillas. What I have here is 2 cups of masa harina that I've measured out into the mixing bowl. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, I'd say a half a teaspoon of salt to that, and just mix that in with my fingers. Now, sometimes you have available 2 different types of masa harina. One is specifically for tamales. It's going to be a little bit coarser. This is the fine masa harina. So what I also have here is 1 3/4 cups warm water. Warm water, just being warm makes it easier to integrate. And then about a tablespoon of olive oil. Not everybody does this. I think it makes it stick, less prone to stick to the plastic wrap. Plastic pieces. Don't use plastic wrap. Don't use any kind of sticky wrap. And what I'm going to do is just add that like that, and I'm going to take it over and put it on my stand mixer and mix it for about 2 minutes. Yes, you can do it easily yourself, but hey, you know what? I've got dogs to take care of and a lot of other things to do, and I can use that 2 minutes for good advantage. So I'll be right back. Okay, this is great. We have a nice big ball of masa here. So what I'm going to do, just finished mixing, and I finished it off by hand just to make sure they got the right consistency. And so what I'm going to do then is take a dish towel and cover this and just let that sit for at least 20 minutes because you want the dough to be able to form up and get to the right consistency. So I will see you in 20 minutes. Okay, so 20 minutes are up, and I pulled the masa out of the mixing bowl, and I've rolled it into a very even, basically tube. And what I'm going to do is show you how you can get 16 even-sized balls of masa to make the tortillas with very, very easily. What you do is you take your pastry knife, and you go right down to the middle, cut that in half. Okay, so we've cut that in half. I'm going to move this part away, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half again, separate that, cut this in half, separate that, cut this in half, separate that. Okay, so now I have 4 even pieces. Flip these over, cut that in half, flip that over, cut it in half. Got 2 that are sticking together here. Flip that over, cut it in half. Flip that over, cut it in half. What I'm going to do then is roll these up into little tiny balls about the size of slightly larger than a golf ball. So, be back in a sec. So I'm going to take one of these then, put it in the center, cover it. I'm going to mash it down a little bit. Then I'm going to fold this over, and I'm going to press it. Now, you don't want to press it. I've got a wrinkle in there. I want to get that wrinkle out. You don't want to press it too hard because you don't want it too thin. So just kind of gently compress it. That's okay. Take a look. Okay, I want a little bit more. That's perfect. Okay, so we're gonna release, and it helps if you moisten the paper here a little bit. And again, these tear really easily, so this is kind of, for me, the most frustrating part of the process. But this is coming off nicely. And I'm going to go over here now to my comal, and he's been preheating. Turn that so you can see this guy. Over here at the comal, I've got my tortilla here. Just going to lay them down there, and you know it's hot enough when you hear that sizzle. So we're going to let this go for about 35-40 seconds on each side. Ready to flip these over. Oh, come on. Behave. There we go. And we're going to let this go for another 30 seconds or so. I'm going to clean my spatula because I don't like how it's stuck there. And yeah, there's a piece of masa on it. So, get that off. Always helps to be clean to be able to do the work. We're letting this go for another 30 seconds or so. Okay, looking good. I'm going to flip it back over. It can go a little bit longer on that side. Okay, so we're going to flip this over again very quickly. There we go. That's looking nice. Looking very, very nice. Just give it a couple of seconds there. And I'm going to move it over here to this dish towel. Keep it pliable. Just cover that up. And then we've got a few more masa balls to roll and to press, and we'll be done. Now with the Kamal, I've got it heated up to about medium high heat, depending on your stove. This stove heats up very, very hot, so I'm on just slightly over medium. And you want the tortillas to be about 1/8 of an inch thick. So before you put them on, so let's see how this guy's doing. Okay, a little bit more on that side, and then we'll be back. So my friends, here we have it, the great unveiling. 16 tortillas, uniform shape, uniform size, uniform thickness. Perfect. And now what we're going to do with these, I'm going to be using 8 of them tonight, so that leaves 8 left over. So if you're going to use them within the next 2 or 3 days, that's dandy. Just wrap them in a dish towel, put them in a baggie, and put it in the fridge. But you know, I tend to stretch it out a little bit, and so what I do, these freeze brilliantly. I just put a piece of wax paper in between them and put them in the freezer, and that works great. These are, the corn tortillas are naturally gluten-free, and oh, they're so much tastier than the stuff that you get at the grocery store. So, I hope this has been helpful. I hope this has been fun. This is Ted Rogers on History by the Plate.